Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us again. We're looking forward to some songs and diversity this morning. Gail has put together a great selection of songs coming from many cultures and languages. So I'll hand it over to Gail and we'll get started.
Okay, thanks, Kendra. Thanks for last week. That was a great start, and we got a lot more music this week. Instead of me talking so much, we're going to do a lot more listening and singing together, so we can enjoy that today. Just a quick little read here. I think everyone has been here in the last week. As you're aware, we're talking about All Creation Sings, the new supplement hymnal that's followed the Evangelical Lutheran Book of Worship. And so we're exploring that and all the variety in there. So the title of this resource, All Creation Sings, evokes a celebrative image that permeates the scriptures. As so much of our human activity comes to a halt right now during the pandemic, many have noted how the natural world has come to life in unexpected ways: clearer water, cleaner air, and more abundant wildlife. Even as we struggle in these days, Easter has come. Christ is risen indeed. We place our hope in the God of creation and new creation, the Spirit who brings life in unexpected places and in unexpected ways. And I'd like to read a tiny little blurb from Linnea Good. She is a singer-songwriter of one of the songs in All Creation Sings. And I'll share a little bit more about her later. But she says, between you and me, we can help breathe more life into the places we inhabit through music. Making a joyful noise means more than pasting a musical smile over our faces and praising. It means singing out, singing with heart, all the songs living inside our souls, from bad hair days to deep inside yearning, and aimless traveling to the hope and how-thens. May you find songs that help your soul sing. So that's our prayer for today, that your soul will sing through the words and the melodies that we will be hearing. There are themes in, so let's start. Speaking of that, our theme song. So God is here today. I've chosen that for us to sing each week. So again, I'm going to accompany us with ukulele, and I just picked it up during COVID. So just strumming a few chords here, singing along. And like I said, there's also Spanish words. So I think next week, maybe Brian will be joining us with some of the Spanish in this. He's going to share some other music with us today, and I'll introduce him and say more about that. But right now we're going to stick with the English, and we'll just sing through it a couple times like we did last week. Number 993, if you have a hymnal on you, or the one that Kendra shared here. So, okay. There we go. God is here today, as certain as the air I breathe, as certain as the morning sun that rises, as certain when I sing you'll hear my song. Nice. God is here today. God is with us, certain as the morning sun that rises every day. So what a promise that we have there. There are themes in All Creation Sings that are so necessary, and some of them are partially lacking in other hymnals. We have more variety here. We also have more female composers that have been underrepresented, and more Canadian composers. So lots more variety. Some of the themes that will come through in the assembly song in All Creation Sings are aging, dying, life transitions, creation, healing, justice and peace, of course, encompassing the whole church year, and then some sending songs. There's a variety of musical styles, instruments, and level of difficulty. We're going to begin with one of the hymns called For Such a Time as This. It's like a taizé style. It's number 1003. And we're just going to hear a little blurb from Jonathan Runman. He's the composer and he teaches the song. And then I think the second verse he changes to You Are Called, and other possibilities would be I Am Called or The Church is Called. So you can kind of work with the song. This is from the introductory video.
Could it be that we are called for such a time as this? Could it be that we are called for such a time as this? All right, let's try verse 2 and let's sing You Are Called. Here we go. Could it be that you are called for such a time as this? Could it be that you are called for such a time as this? All right.
So yes, we're called, and we are called to bring peace and love and to the world and through our actions, and lots of these songs will encompass that. So in the hymnal, there is a diversity of genres and expressions, as we talked about. There's taizé chants, dance and folk tunes, spirituals, lots of traditional tunes, 4-part harmony, and many of them have been composed, probably the majority of them in the past decade, and then lots of them have been sung for centuries as well. So we got great variety there. 25 of the songs have texts in Spanish. Plus others in African, Swahili, Asian, and other languages. So 2 of the songs that I've chosen are, one is from Christmas and one's from Advent, so it's a bit seasonal, but for the Spanish ones. And I'm going to ask Brian, so Pastor Brian Rood, who we have on Zoom with us. I think he's here just about every Thursday, so that's fabulous. He's been living in El Salvador for 33 plus years, I believe. He's worked under the support of the Alberta Synod in mission with El Salvador. And Brian is my brother, so of course we go back a few years. And I also was privileged to visit Brian in El Salvador back in 2013 with my husband Phil and with Bishop Larry and his wife Kathy. And Kathy's also our cousin, so that was a fun trip. Brian graciously agreed to record a couple songs from All Creation Sings. What could he say, you know, when I put it towards him. And I think Spanish is almost his first language now after living there for over half his life. So he kind of has to go between the two when we're talking to him sometimes. I think he's just going to say a couple words himself there in his backyard. He did pre-record the songs, but he can mention that too. So.
Yes, thank you. Good to be here with you. I still am Canadian, so I should comment on the weather. Here, if it's 9 o'clock, it must be 23 degrees. The temperature and the time are interchangeable here. No snow. Yeah, I've recorded these songs. My home is hardly a recording studio, but I make it work. I have a rinkety-tinkety, I think some might call it an electric piano. I don't have a piano, but I call it an appliance. And so it makes some noises, but it doesn't inspire music really. It just makes do. And a couple of guitars, actually one I bought in Edmonton during my student days there. And if it got some reasonable repairs, it could be in fine shape still, but it needs repair. And the other is a guitar that a friend of mine made for me about 25 years ago. His first home guitar, actually, just as he started working at a guitar shop. And it's not bad, actually. It's got a reasonable sound, and it's for a first guitar and it's lasted all these decades. It's okay. And I have a quena, like a flute and samponia and a little African drum and stuff. So, and friends come over with their own instruments, which are much better, and so we make music here. And so yeah, and it's a challenging place to record because there are always housemates and friends and siblings and colleagues coming and going at all hours, and you never know when. And my house is kind of like a townhouse type thing. We share walls with both neighbors, and they are often doing gardening and construction projects and so on, lots of noise. And the street out front is like an echo chamber. So we have the delivery trucks and garbage trucks and lots of traffic coming and going. And so, yeah, lots of noise to compete with. And in my backyard, mostly birds and some dogs. All my neighbors have dogs, so but I listen to the birds. And the pump for the waterfall just conked out yesterday after a couple of years, so you won't hear the waterfall today. But that's my therapy sound. It's great. But we tried fixing it yesterday, but I think the pump might need to be replaced. But anyway.
So the first one that is Gloria Dios. I believe Brian's just going to sing that one in Spanish. It's a Christmas one, so we'll go ahead with that.
Gloria a Dios, Gloria a Dios, Gloria a Dios en los cielos. Paz para ti, paz para mí, paz para toda la tierra. Glory to God, glory to God, glory to God in the highest. Peace be to you, peace be to me, peace be to all, peace to all the earth.
Thanks, Brian. I feel like that's one we could almost sing in Spanish. We could almost be able to learn those words, and it would be a really nice one to add to our Christmas repertoire. The next one is actually an Advent one, going backwards in the church year, and it's Come to Be Our Hope, O Jesus. So the first video is Brian singing it in English, and then the second video is him singing it in Spanish.
Come to be our hope, O Jesus. Come to set your people free. From oppression, come release us. Grant us your true liberty. Come release from every prison those who suffer in our land. In your love we find the reason still to live and understand. Come to build your new creation through the road of servanthood. Give new life to every nation, changing evil into good. Come and open our tomorrow, for your joyful reign so near. Take away all human sorrow, give us hope against our fear. Tú, Jesús, nuestra esperanza, ven y libra nuestro ser. Niño nace entre nosotros, ven y danos tu poder. Ven, liberta prisioneros, de injusticia y aflicción. Ven, reúne nuestros pueblos en amor y en comprensión. Ven y teje el mundo nuevo, caminando en la verdad, para que por fin el pueblo viva en plena libertad. Ven Jesús, abre el futuro de tu reino de alegría. Ven, derrumbe este gran muro que hoy separa noche y día.
Thank you, Brian. That was lovely. So, and I love the background. That's his front door screen, is it not? I believe.
Yeah, it's a double door, and that door is interesting because it was a friend and I made it. He's a metal worker, but he's also a pastor. He's the son of two martyrs. His father and mother were both killed here. They're pastors, and they were killed about 10 years ago.
Right.
And now he's pastor of the church where they were killed. And he's a metal worker, and so he made that door for me. So it looks musical. It doesn't sound so musical, but and yeah, I recording it. I just had cataract surgery in August, so I'm not. I don't have glasses, and I would have. I guess. Well, I could do it. I could just ad lib or memorized, so it could work, or maybe print and enlarge what Gail sent me. So there are ways around it, but I just did it a cappella instead with the door as backdrop. So
Lovely. Great. Okay, so we're going to go to Taiwanese. I have a video for this one that I tried to cut shorter, but there's just too much in it. It's a seminary student, Asian seminary student, who is explaining some background to the song and some of her culture. And it meant so much to hear that and to bring meaning to the song, that the rice of life, which is in place of the bread of life, what we talk about. And so it's so well done that I thought it would just be great to listen to the video. It's number 965 in your hymnal. If you have one on you, and otherwise it's going to be on the video as well, and we'll be able to hear about it. So yeah, that's good. That'd be great. I think the first slide, I'll just read it when Kendra shares it. It's what's at the bottom of the hymn in the hymnal. So I'll read that, and then Kendra can go right on to the next one. It says, in many Asian cultures, rice, not bread, is the staple food. This hymn expands our metaphors for Holy Communion, contextualizing the scriptural image of Jesus as the bread of life.
Hello, everyone. My name is Evangeline Day. I'm the third-year MDiv student at Pacific Lutheran Theological Seminary. I'm also a candidate for Word and Sacrament Ministry with Gulf Coast Synod. And today, I want to introduce a hymn from the ELCA new hymnal, All Creation Sings. I was happy to see some Asian hymns were included in this new hymnal, and I paid extra attention to number 965, The Rise of Life. I was able to find some information about this hymn in Taiwanese, and I feel a desire to share this with English-speaking friends. So I made this video. And on the footnote on All Creation Sings said, in many Asian cultures, rice, not bread, is the staple food. This hymn expands our metaphors for Holy Communion, contextualizing the scriptural image of Jesus as the bread of life. In Gospel of John, chapter 6. So you will notice the tempo of this hymn is very regular, isometric. And you need to know why, because the rhythm is related to rice. The rhythm, the farmer hoeing the land for planting. The rhythm, the farmer planting the rice. And the rhythm, the workers tasseling or beating the rice to make food. So you will see in a video I will play shortly after this. The English lyrics was written by an American Methodist missionary who went to Malaysia to share the gospel among the indigenous people, Malaysians, and Chinese immigrants in Malaysia. So he knew that many Asians need to eat rice, otherwise they won't feel full, like my grandparents. They were all like that. This hymn contextualized the gospel that Jesus is the rice of life instead of bread of life. Well, in many places in Asia, we didn't have bread until the last century. People would not understand the significance of bread, but rice of life, will touch many Asians' heart. So that's the background of the text. And for the music, the tune was from a tribal music in Taiwan, the Bunong tribe, and their song of rice beating. And also I want to share in the Chinese translation of the Bible in John 6:35, the word for bread wasn't translated as bread. It says, Jesus said, I am the bread of life. If you will, this word liang, it has a root of rice instead of wheat. So I will play a short video to show you the rhythm. So the video I play with the accompaniment, it sounds a little bit fancier. I got it from the Taiwanese hymnal. So this is how it look like. So the tune name Binu, that is Taiwanese, which means rice. And some of the notes you will notice there is a something. I don't know how to call it in English, but that's a feature that Taiwanese music sometimes have. So when you listen to my other music videos I sing in Chinese, you will find out that sometimes I don't sing the notes like exactly that pitch, that note. I will have some ooh, the feeling of that. That's how I learned to sing when I grew up. So I guess what happened to this hymn is a similar thing. because in old times in Taiwan, we don't have this music system to take our notes, and so that's why that is how I feel it is special. Hope you will enjoy my singing. I don't know if I did the right thing, but I try my best to perform this hymn. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Rise of life from heaven came to bring true life from God above. Receive this gift, God's mercy claim. In joy and pain, give thanks for love. To rise the hungry road has fed, the rise required for life below. Provide this gift, God's mercy spread. In weakness, God's compassion show. The rise of God for all is meet. No one who comes is turned away. In living Christ, whom God has sent, in humble trust, God's will obey. The living Christ for a sign came down, eternal life to give. Abide in Christ, the living light. In Christ with people died and lived.
Great, just a whole different style, singing and great introduction to the culture. Next, we're going to go to one from Kenyan, and this was recorded by Deanna DeSalle, who sang a song for us last week. She's from Medicine Hat, and she had a lot of fun with this one. So it's 1024 or 1024. Here on Jesus Christ I will stand, and she has a good introduction. So we'll just go ahead with that one.
This song from All Creation Sings is number 1024. It's called Here on Jesus Christ I Will Stand. It's a song from Kenya, so it's got an amazing African beat, which sounds awesome with a drummer along with you. It's from the Hope and Assurance section, and it's just got this, it just makes you feel good, this song. It gives you a chance to cry out, but to praise at the same time. The refrain is really easy and could be simply taught and have a leader sing the verses. The refrain just goes, here on Jesus Christ I will stand. He's the solid rock of my life. He's the solid rock of my life. He's the solid rock of my life. So feel free to sing along at home.
Inside, I
thanks to Deanna for that one and her son joining her on the drum. So that was great. Many of the songs in All Creation Sings have of a meditative quality, and they're fitting for the service of word and prayer that's at the beginning of the hymnal. It's one of the settings. So I've chosen 1075, Oh God We Call. And I thought I'd just play this one. We'd sing along. It was sung at the National Worship Conference that I attended this summer as during one of the worship services as a response to and it was composed by Linnea Good, who is from BC, and she has sung across Canada with her music in lots of worship settings. And we actually had her come to Grace and do an evening service for us, so she has a special connection in our world there too. So, Oh God We Call. Very nice tune. And we're going to go to a communion theme. There are 10 songs under the communion theme. And one of them I asked Deanna to do, it's 970. It's called We Come Now to the Table. And it's a Caribbean tune from St. Vincent Traditional, which is kind of interesting because we've actually been to St. Vincent. So that means more even in the Anglican Church in the West Indies there. So she talks a little bit about using it as a family grace as well. So it's kind of interesting how their family has adopted this song into their daily living.
This song from All Creation Sings is number 970. We Come Now to Your Table from the Holy Communion section. It's a Caribbean song, so it's got some neat rhythms to it. Our family sings this a cappella now for grace before supper. It's a beautiful song that you can easily teach to your family. I'm going to do it once, just singing simply, and then we're going to repeat it with the really fun alternate accompaniment that's in the book. We come now to your table, Lord, you are the living bread. We come now to your table, Lord, let every soul be fed. You are the living bread, let every soul be fed. And now may every soul be fed with living bread. We come now to your table, Lord, we are the living bread. We come now to your table, Lord, let every soul be fed. You are the living bread, let every soul be fed. And now may every soul be fed with living bread.
So I just have a couple notes here and then we can have some conversation time. I was going to do one more 967 at the piano, but again, you can probably look that up on your own and maybe we'll do that another session. It's also a communion one. The baptism, we did Born Reborn on the first session. So that's a fabulous one that can be brought in. There's 14 hymns in the praise section in the hymnal. And then there's a lament section. I was just going to point out 1049, Before the Waters Nourished Earth. It's to the tune of The King of Love, My Shepherd Is. So when we have some familiar tunes, it helps to teach these hymns as well. And that's got some really good words, especially now during COVID, and we're surrounded by sickness and death and lots going on worldwide. One more that's at the end of your PowerPoint is Remembrance, is a song called Death Be Never Last, 1030. And it's a good one for remembrance of those who have died. So with All Saints Sunday coming up, that would be a wonderful one to be able to sing. And it's by Ray McKeever, and he sings it himself in the video, and he tells about how the words came to him and how they have meaning for him. And it's a very beautiful, beautiful hymn as well. So.
This song from All Creation Sings is called Guide My Feet. It's song number 987. It's a sending song, so it's perfect to sing at the end of a service. It's a great African-American spiritual song, so it sounds awesome with percussion and rhythm instruments instead of a piano. And it's also a fantastic call and response song. The leader sings the verse words, and the congregation, or you, get to sing, "Well, I've run this race." And so I'm going to sing it for you, and I hope you will join in. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain. I am your child while I run this race. I am your child while I run this race. I'm your child while I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain. Search my heart while I run this race. Search my heart while I run this race. Search my heart while I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain.
Go in peace to love and serve the Lord.
Thanks be to God.